At 0243 on May 24, 2025, 3 Ukrainian drones lifted off over occupied Zaporizhia. Below, an 8-car Russian fuel train carried 560 tons of diesel. Within a minute, precision strikes ignited the tanks, turning the supply line into a fiery test of Russian defenses. May 24, 2025. The first Ukrainian reconnaissance drone lifted silently above the occupied countryside of Zaporizhia Oblast. The darkness stretched for kilometers, interrupted only by the distant glint of the Verkhniy Tokmak Molochansk railway line. On this track, an 8-car fuel train carried roughly 560 tons of diesel, enough to sustain 2 Russian battalions for an entire week. The crew inside the locomotive had no idea what was coming. Within 60 seconds, the fuel would ignite. Explosions would tear through the cars, fire roaring into the night sky and reshape the darkness into a burning, chaotic spectacle. Ukrainian forces meticulously coordinated the operation. 5 drones formed the strike group, 3 Ukrainian-built FPV attack quadcopters designated for direct strikes, and 2 DJI Mavic 3 reconnaissance drones, one providing overwatch and the other held in reserve. These were not commercial off-the-shelf drones. Ukrainian engineers modified the reconnaissance platforms with experimental firmware, enhancing the digital zoom from 28 times to 56 times. Select units carried FLIR Boson thermal cores capable of detecting temperature differences as small as 0.05 degrees Celsius. Their flight ceiling of 6,000 meters and endurance of 46 minutes allowed operators to maintain surveillance far outside Russian detection zones. The FPV strike drones were optimized for terminal velocity attacks. Each drone had 7-inch propellers mounted on 2,807 class brushless motors, producing up to 2.5 kilograms of thrust. With custom F7 flight controllers running bespoke Belaflight firmware, these drones reached speeds exceeding 140 kilometers per hour in terminal dives. Their stability at high-speed impacts made them highly effective against lightly armored targets, such as fuel tank cars. Each drone carried a 2.6-kilogram dual-stage-shaped charge warhead. It was designed to penetrate hardened steel walls of 10 to 15 millimeters. Detonation jets exceeded 30,000 feet per second, with incendiary temperatures above 2,500 degrees Celsius. Inside the command center, 30 kilometers from the target, Ukrainian operators watched multiple thermal feeds. The first reconnaissance drone located the fuel train, its diesel engines glowing bright against the cold night landscape. The encrypted feed confirmed the train's exact position, speed, and orientation. 3 FPV operators prepared to initiate their attack sequences, synchronizing their drones with GPS navigation and terminal optical guidance systems. Each approach had been pre-calculated, accounting for the train moving at 11 meters per second. At 2:44 hours, the first attack drone began its terminal dive. Suddenly, 3 kilometers away, a Russian FLIR 3 electronic warfare system activated. Mounted on a Kamaz chassis, the FLIR-3 began jamming GPS and control frequencies within a 30-kilometer radius. The drone operator immediately noticed connectivity warnings on the control interface. Standard commercial drones would have been disabled instantly, but these Ukrainian platforms employed frequency-hopping spread-spectrum technology. This changed channels hundreds of times per second to evade jamming. The FLIR-3 operators escalated their efforts, attempting both broadband and targeted spot jamming on the 2.4 GHz frequency used by the FPV drones. Ukrainian operators anticipated this scenario. Each drone automatically switched between multiple frequency bands, with AI algorithms detecting jamming attempts and dynamically selecting backup channels. Simultaneously, the drone's inertial measurement units tracked velocity, acceleration, and orientation independently of GPS, ensuring navigation even under spoofed signals. During the 15-second final approach, the attack drone transitioned from GPS to optical guidance. Its camera feed, stabilized digitally, relayed high-resolution video to the pilot's goggles, maintaining visual contact with the moving target. Algorithms detected the specific geometric contours of the fuel tank cars, calculating optimal impact points despite the train's motion. Operator commands were supplemented by autonomous systems, allowing precise targeting even under partial signal degradation. At 2:44 hours and 30 seconds, the first drone struck. The shaped charge penetrated the third fuel tanker's 12-millimeter wall, igniting its diesel contents instantaneously. The resulting explosion vaporized hundreds of gallons of fuel and generated a pressure wave that ruptured adjacent tank cars. Thermal imaging displayed a rapidly expanding fireball, and the surrounding cars became engulfed in secondary explosions within 15 seconds. The locomotive applied emergency brakes, halting the train, which now became a stationary target. At 2:45 hours, the second and the third strike drones executed coordinated attacks. The second operator targeted the sixth car. Approaching from the southeast, the drone utilized smoke and flames for concealment, compensating for heat distortion via its AI-enhanced thermal targeting system. The shaped charge penetrated the tanker wall, detonating an additional 69 tons of diesel. Simultaneously, the third operator targeted the rear of the train, striking the eighth and final car. The strike sequence mirrored the first attack: penetration, ignition, and catastrophic combustion. The resulting inferno consumed all 8 tank cars. Flames and heat created powerful convection currents, pulling air into the base of the fire and forming a column of smoke over 200 meters into the sky. Railway tracks warped under extreme temperatures, wooden ties were incinerated, and debris was scattered across the right-of-way. Russian repair crews would require weeks to restore this critical supply line, assuming they could operate safely under the threat of additional Ukrainian strikes. As the flames consumed the 8 fuel tankers, sensors aboard the reconnaissance drones recorded not just destruction, but the dynamics of the fire itself. Convection currents twisted into self-sustaining columns, feeding the inferno with oxygen while heat waves radiated outward, warping metal and igniting nearby foliage. The AI continuously adjusted flight paths to maintain optimal surveillance angles, ensuring operators captured each blast with precision. Even under heavy smoke and intermittent signal disruption, target acquisition remained uninterrupted. The synchronized strikes showed the power of low-cost drones. Coupled with AI and human intelligence, they delivered an impact far beyond their size. A single logistics corridor became a contested battlefield with minimal exposure to Ukrainian forces. Throughout the operation, each drone maintained encrypted communication with the command center. Intelligence had been gathered over 72 hours using civilian partisans to track train schedules, speeds, and positions. These ordinary civilians, risking execution if discovered, provided the timing necessary to exploit a 15-minute window when the train was most vulnerable. Their contributions were critical to synchronizing the drone's approach and terminal attack phases. The DJI Mavic 3 reconnaissance drone continued overwatch, scanning for secondary Russian defenses. Its AI-assisted sensors automatically prioritized remaining targets, even as communication with strike drones became intermittent under jamming. When GPS spoofing attempts were detected, the drone's inertial navigation systems corrected trajectory deviations, ensuring consistent approach vectors. Image recognition algorithms verified structural features on each tank car, enabling autonomous final engagement when operator inputs were limited. The second and third strike drones' impact sequences produced overlapping fireballs, intensifying the inferno across the formation. Each shaped charge's detonation was recorded in 4K, providing post-strike analysis for operational review. Thermal imaging revealed heat signatures exceeding 2,500 degrees Celsius, with secondary combustion in adjacent cars occurring almost instantaneously. Smoke density increased rapidly, but AI sensors maintained clear imaging of the target zone, compensating for obscured visibility through predictive modeling. The fire spread through ventilation channels between tank cars, initially intended to equalize pressure during refueling, now acting as conduits for rapid flame propagation. Each car's diesel content contributed to the sustained inferno, generating its own microclimate. Convection currents pulled in additional oxygen, sustaining combustion and creating pyroclastic-like thermal columns. The explosion and fire propagation were consistent with modeling simulations, demonstrating the precision and lethality of the combined reconnaissance and attack drone system. Russian electronic warfare units attempted repeated GPS interference, including signal spoofing. However, the drone's multimodal navigation, integrating optical, thermal, and inertial data, ensured trajectory adherence. Every deviation was automatically corrected, with AI algorithms recalculating optimal impact vectors in real time. The combination of manual operator control and autonomous systems allowed continuous target acquisition under extreme interference. Each operator observed the destruction on real-time thermal feeds, confirming the full destruction of targeted fuel cars. The first drone's initial strike propagated fire into the second and fourth cars, while subsequent drones targeted the sixth and eighth cars. Secondary explosions followed predicted patterns, confirming the efficiency of target prioritization and sequencing. Timing coordination between drones was critical. Delays could have allowed Russian countermeasures to alter or prevent impacts. The tactical outcome of the operation extended beyond immediate destruction. The railway line was rendered inoperable, with warped rails and destroyed ties, ensuring logistical disruption. Russian supply chains would be delayed for days or weeks, demonstrating the strategic impact of precision drone warfare. Additionally, the operation showcased the effectiveness of low-cost drones against high-value targets with minimal risk to operators. Throughout the operation, no drone losses occurred due to electronic warfare. It was a testament to preemptive counter-jamming measures, frequency hopping protocols, and inertial navigation redundancy. UAV operators monitored heat signatures and visual feeds, adjusting approaches dynamically based on environmental and thermal conditions. Terrain and wind data were incorporated into flight corrections, maintaining precision under rapidly changing conditions. At 2:45 hours, the coordinated strikes had concluded. All 8 tank cars were either destroyed or engulfed in flames. Fireballs reached hundreds of meters into the sky, smoke plumes visible from dozens of kilometers away. Observers in Zaporizhia Oblast would have witnessed a night sky illuminated by multiple explosive events. The command center confirmed target destruction. Drone recovery sequences were initiated for reconnaissance platforms, and post-strike analysis began immediately using onboard recordings. Thermal imaging and optical feeds captured detailed destruction patterns. Structural failures of the tank cars were documented, showing warhead efficacy and combustion dynamics. Secondary effects included the ignition of nearby vegetation, warping of metal tracks, and vaporization of diesel residues. Engineers and analysts in the command center began cross-referencing live data with pre-strike simulations, validating both targeting methodology and warhead performance. The civilian partisan network's contribution was vital to timing accuracy. Their observations ensured that the train's most vulnerable segment was struck within a precisely calculated window. Without their intelligence, the synchronization required for maximum effect might have failed. This human element complemented technological superiority, proving the effectiveness of integrated operations between human intelligence and autonomous systems. By the conclusion of the operation, Ukrainian operators had demonstrated unprecedented coordination under extreme electronic warfare conditions. The drone's autonomous systems, advanced sensors, and AI-assisted targeting overcame Russian jamming and spoofing attempts. The synchronized attack achieved maximum destruction while avoiding casualties among Ukrainian personnel, highlighting the evolution of modern precision warfare. The strike was not only a tactical victory, but a demonstration of operational planning and timing. From the reconnaissance phase at 2:43 hours to the final drone strike at 2:45 hours, each movement was calculated, tested, and executed with precision. The combination of AI-assisted guidance, real-time thermal analysis, and coordinated attack drones ensured complete mission success. The Zaporizhia fuel train strike exemplifies the future of drone warfare. Low-cost platforms, enhanced by AI and human intelligence, can achieve strategic effects disproportionate to their size and expense. The operation illustrates the growing importance of electronic warfare countermeasures, timing coordination, and autonomous navigation. For Russia, the destruction of 560 tons of fuel will have immediate operational consequences. For Ukraine, it is a validated demonstration of precision strike capability, combining human observation, AI computation, and technological innovation. How do you interpret this strike? A glimpse into the future of warfare, or merely another act in a long, unfolding conflict? Follow along, like our video, subscribe to the channel, and be part of the discussion. We'll break down the next move before it even hits the news.